Man, how do I sum up Wrestlemania Backlash? You know when your poor Grandma Susie at 72 years old, she asks you, son, what would you like for your birthday this year, you good little boy? And you say, Grandma, I would love WrestleMania, the biggest event in sports entertainment, the best wrestling pay-per-view of the year. There's nothing like WrestleMania. That's what I want for my birthday. And she's like, okay, son, I'll get you some WrestleMania. She comes back with this. Sorry if my chroma key's messed up. I try a new setup every time, I swear. But she comes back with this. And poor Grandma Susie, she saw WrestleMania in the title, so she was like, oh, I'm gonna get this for my poor old son. And it's WrestleMania Backlash. But how good was this show? Let's find out together. So we start things off in the kickoff show, as it's Sheamus. He's issuing an open challenge for the United States Championship. Who answers? It's Ricochet. We love Ricochet when he's actually on TV. This is something that's good. It's hopefully promising. Ricochet had a good showing. He was in control for a decent amount of the match. He came out wearing black jeans, and you're like, oh, this isn't Ricochet. We know he's not going to be flying around. No, Ricochet's hitting his moonsaults. He's hitting his shooting stars. He's hitting his 450s. You know, all the Ricochet things. But Sheamus hits a very stiff knee. Not the brogue kick, the brogue knee, as I would call it, for the 1, 2, 3. But we're not done. Ricochet beats up Sheamus, and in the biggest disgrace to Sheamus, he takes Sheamus' hat, he takes Sheamus' coat, and Ricochet runs away. Hopefully this means we're getting Ricochet in the US title picture. We're getting these guys like Carrillo, like Mansoor, maybe even Ricochet in the US title picture. Hopefully this means that Ricochet's doing something other than showing up on Raw every month or two in his crappy little trunks to lose a 3-minute match to somebody like AJ Styles, to somebody like whoever else he faces. Not on TV enough, I wouldn't know that. But Sheamus retains the title, fun match. Hopefully things are looking bright for Ricochet. We start things off with the match I was most scared for. It's the triple threat match for the Raw Women's title. Rhea Ripley, Asuka, and Charlotte Flair, everybody's favorite. We all just knew Charlotte was going to win this match. She's going to insert herself. She's going to win the title. She's not going to pin Rhea, though, but she'll take Rhea's title, and this will set up for a one-on-one match. But no! Did Asuka take the pin as expected? Yes, she did. That sucks to see. But anything is better than Charlotte winning the title right now. Rhea Ripley retains. This is a very fun triple threat match as expected. 3 of the best women's wrestlers in the world, Rhea Ripley, Asuka, and Charlotte Flair, having a great match. But who's ready for Charlotte to beat Rhea Ripley one-on-one at WrestleMania Money in the Bank? Or so we thought. More on that later. Next up is for the Smackdown Tag Team titles. We've got the Dirty Dawgs, the best name in professional wrestling. I stand by that right now. Versus the Mysterio. But before this, on the kickoff show, the Dirty Dawgs, they attacked Dominik. They dumped, what could they have dumped on him? A forklift, a big pile of gold, or literally anything else. But no, it's a nice bubble-wrapped couch that just so happens to be sitting backstage. They dump it on Dominik in the kickoff show. Dominik's hurt. Dominik can't come out for the match. It's going to be a 2-on-1. It's going to be Rey Mysterio fighting against the odds to win the titles for him and his son. We all knew what was going to happen next. That's right, folks, it may be predictable, but it was pretty entertaining. Dominik Mysterio comes down to make the save. This match went by. It felt like 15-20 minutes. It probably wasn't that long, but it was just getting beat up for the Mysterios. Until the end, Rey hits a move on Dolph on the outside. Dominik hits a frog splash. 1, 2, 3, and new SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Mysterios, the first ever father and son duo to win the tag titles together. Next up, and oh boy, where do I go with this? So throughout the night, we've been getting commercials for a show called Army of the Dead, or Dead Army, or honestly, I don't know, nor do I really care. But it's a movie with Batista, so we're going to get 4,000 little trailers throughout the show. But before this match happened, this is the Lumberjack match, by the way, between Damien Priest and The Miz, the feud that will never end. John Morrison went backstage, and they've got a locker room dedicated to just the Lumberjack. So it was at this point where I walked away for 2 seconds, and then my lighting went all over the place. It was the zombies' fault, I swear. So from here on out, my chroma key will be a little bit different. My apologies. Blame the zombies. So before this match happened, John Morrison goes backstage. He goes into the Lumberjacks locker room, and we don't have Lumberjacks, do we? We don't have all the underutilized stars like your Ricochets, like your Drew Gulaks, like your Angel Garzas and such on Raw. We've got literal zombies, because of course we do. We live in a world where slapping your leg while delivering a super kick to make it sound more emphatic, to make the noise a lot louder, that's unrealistic. But to have a locker room full of lumberjacks that are full of zombies, that made zero sense. To have a locker room of lumberjacks that are literal zombies, that's realistic. So anyways, we're starting things off, and I feel like I'm watching a Fiend match. The lights have been lowered, we've got smoke on the floor, and yes folks, it's Damien Priest and The Miz, one-on-one. with lumberjacks that are zombies. So we have a little bit of a match. Priest and Miz go to the outside. They start beating up the zombies as they're slowly walking around being dead. Yes, this is wrestling, folks. We have Priest and the Miz beating up the zombies. John Morrison comes out. He's beating up some zombies. He's doing some flips. He's doing some kicks. He's looking to do a move off of the barricade onto a zombie. And John Morrison is dragged down by zombies behind him. Yes, I swear this is all real. If you didn't watch this pay-per-view, it happened, folks. I swear it happened. You're not dreaming, although I thought I was dreaming a little bit during the match. Priest gets the win. He hits the hit the lights or whatever it is that we're calling it these days. 1, 2, 3. And we see death. I mean, last year at WrestleMania, AJ Styles got literally buried alive before coming back to life a month later with no explanation. But we're here. The Miz and John Morrison died. They got eaten. And then in the end, Priest does, this is going to be horrible for Chroma Key, but Priest does his little pew, I don't know how to do that. He does his little thing, and coincidentally, a logo for that movie pops up on the screen. This is totally normal. Then after the match, we're done with zombies. We're done with the spooky nonsense. No, we're not, because it's October. Wait, no, it's not. Hell in a Cell is coming in June. Okay, so we're not getting Hell in a Cell in October, so it's now June where everybody must hate each other so much to the point where they have to get inside the structure. So this is usually around the time where we'll be getting Money in the Bank. It seems like they're going to wait till we have a nice full arena, maybe not full arena because, you know, pandemic and all that good stuff, but it seems like we're going to get to the point where we're going to have a Money in the Bank pay-per-view in front of a crowd, which I'm excited for. But Hell in a Cell's in June, that's a sentence that we're saying. Next up for the Smackdown Women's Championship, we've got Bianca Belair and we've got Bayley. Nothing really crazy to say about this match, just a very nice match, very good showing from Bianca, Bayley doing some very entertaining things. Bianca gets the win with a roll-up. Are we going to see the feud continue? Who knows? It's the old-fashioned WWE finish. Bianca gets a roll-up. Very nice match, very good win for Bianca. You love to see it. Next up, it's time for some big beefy boys to do some big beefy boy beatings on each other. Yep, I said that. It's the WWE title triple threat. We've got Drew McIntyre, we've got Choo-Choo, it's Braun Strowman, and we've got the champion, Bobby Lashley. So just lots of big beefy boy things. Braun Strowman almost fell on his head. He did like sort of a cannonball senton off the apron. Lots of big beefy boys doing some dives. Drew's diving all over the place. Braun's doing cannonballs off the apron. We get a spot on the stage. Bobby Lashley gets thrown through the stage. Lots of explosions. Not as much as the last time Bobby went through a stage, if you remember that. Corey Graves and his holy bleep moment on Raw. Bobby Lashley goes through a bit of the stage, a little bit of explosions. Fun stuff. We down to the ring, it's one-on-one for a bit. We have Drew McIntyre, and we have the train leader himself, Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman counters a Claymore on the outside, catches Drew in midair, power bombs him through the table. A very nice spot. So we're in the ring now. Drew McIntyre hits a Claymore, but who's that? It's Bobby Lashley from behind. Eliminates Drew McIntyre from the Royal Rumble match. Bobby Lashley hits a spear, 1, 2, 3, and as I predicted, Bobby Lashley retains the WWE title by pinning Braun Strowman. And it's main event time. I said this in my predictions video. If you didn't watch that, go watch that now. It was a great video, I hope. We have Roman Reigns and Cesaro. You just love to see Cesaro in the main event picture. He's been underutilized for so long, as we all obviously know. But 2021, we've got Cesaro, and we've got the head of the table, the tribal chief, Roman Reigns, in the main event. And something we've seen a lot from Roman on pay-per-view, that just these big, long, drawn-out matches that are just making stars. Matches with the likes of Kevin Owens, with the likes of Daniel Bryan, now with the likes of Cesaro. Roman Reigns just beating Cesaro, targeting his arm, locking in submissions. Cesaro's hitting uppercuts, he's springing all over the place, he's throwing Roman all around. So Cesaro was just looking like a star. We get to the end, Roman, he's got the guillotine locked in, so Paul's not there, Jay's not there, Jimmy's not there, Brian's not there, nobody's there. He's got the guillotine locked in, Cesaro's fighting it, and then Cesaro's down, and he was probably in that guillotine for at least a minute. Cesaro finally passes out. Nice veins on the forehead, the purple forehead, I might say, of Cesaro. Referee rings the bell. Roman retains, but we're not done yet. So we have Jey Uso coming down to the ring. He's got one of those, I'm not even going to try and call it by a name, one of those flower things. I'm not going to try and, call it by whatever it's called, I don't want to be racially insensitive or anything, but he's got one of the flower things that he puts around Roman's head, once again acknowledging him as his tribal chief, as the head of the table, as the Universal Champion. And then Jey says, let me have him! Jey starts super kicking Cesaro. Don't slap the leg. Starts super kicking Cesaro, goes to the top, looks for a splash. We hear Seth Rollins' music, and I'm like, okay, are we going to get a face turn? Is Rollins going to help Cesaro? Maybe Cesaro has gained the respect of Seth Rollins after they've had a bunch of matches. He comes out, and this is where people are probably going to be talking, whether it's the zombie match or it's the controversial kind of weird ending that made a little bit of no sense. Rollins comes out, he's destroying Cesaro, and I'm just waiting for Jimmy to come back. Or maybe just somebody returns, or Cesaro fights back. Maybe Roman attacks Seth, maybe Seth attacks Roman. But no, Seth is just attacking Cesaro. He's wrapping his arm in a chair. He's throwing him against the barricade. He's hitting his stomps on the floor. Cesaro is just dead. And then that's the end of the pay-per-view. So what do I think about that? We had the perfect ending of the feud at regular WrestleMania, not WrestleMania Backlash. Cesaro got the win. He had his big WrestleMania moment. All that good stuff. Then they had one more match on Smackdown. Fine. But did Vince just realize, oh, we scheduled Hell in a Cell for June. We need a couple guys to go in there that's at least got a little bit of animosity so we can say, oh, we're not just throwing people in a cell for no reason at all. Are we going to get another pay-per-view match between Cesaro and Seth? I just don't understand. I was expecting him to come out, maybe help Cesaro, maybe attack Roman. But he just comes out, doesn't necessarily align himself with Roman, but just doesn't care that Roman's there with the title, doesn't care about the title, just wants to beat down Cesaro. I don't know. I just don't understand where we're going. Why do we gotta get another Rollins-Cesaro match? We had the Cesaro reign stuff. Cesaro was never gonna win the title, nor did he necessarily need to. He looks like a star after this match. Why are we getting Cesaro-Seth again? So I don't know, I guess we'll see more on SmackDown. Tune in to SmackDown, I guess. Just before we go, if you saw my predictions video, you knew at WrestleMania, me and Cody tied in the predictions contest for this prestigious, very expensive, and lucrative WrestleMania predictions trophy. So we made it double or nothing for the WrestleMania Backlash trophy with no logo on it. And your boy went 6 for 6. We didn't do predictions for the kickoff. I won every single match. Every prediction was right, as there is a very bright car going outside. I had every single match right. I don't think I've had that in a while. I have won the predictions trophy. More in the future coming for predictions. A little teaser there. But I thank you guys for watching. What did you think of Backlash? WrestleMania Backlash. I'm so sorry. What did you think of WrestleMania Backlash? What do you think of the ending? Zombies for tag champs, anyone? Zombies to become the new faction? I guess, I mean, we need more tag teams. But I thank you guys for watching. Stay safe out there. Take care. And I'll see you guys in the next one.